everybody, we are doing chair yoga live, and Diesel is here helping me out. Oh, that's okay. You could say. I'm also wearing my Rebecca Stella Art yoga leggings, which I have to talk about because I actually had a new design that I made, and you should totally check it out. I'm doing bidding through the month of August on it. Anyway, today's class is all going to be about hyping ourselves up for the rest of the week. So this is Wednesday and we have a couple more days left. So it becomes kind of important for us to be able to sustain that energy, right, to continue on through the rest of the week. So first, let's start out with a comfortable seat. So find those sits bones pressing down. Feet can be flat on the floor, and certainly if you're sitting down on a yoga mat, you want to sit up nice and tall. Find that long spine. Roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Lengthen up through the back of the neck. Find that nice full breath in. Full exhale out. One more time, breath in. And full exhale. And relax the shoulders down. Okay. So we're actually going to start out with what's called Breath of Fire. So if anyone has tuned in to the Fitness Inclusion Network videos I've been doing, we're doing Breath of Fire on there. Full instructions included. If you're not familiar, basically a quick contraction of the abdominals and the diaphragm muscle to quickly exhale out. Okay? So I want you to start. Take a full inhale, and your mouth is going to be closed. You're going to breathe out through your nose. Okay, so try a couple with me here, and hopefully you're participating and not just watching, although that's fine too. We'll do 5. Good job. So if you did those, you know it kind of feels weird. It's really good to blow your nose before, during, and after possibly. So if you need a tissue, go ahead and grab one. Find that tall seat once more. Okay, sometimes our spines have a tendency to kind of round out. So find that tall spine again. We're going to do 5 more, and then we're going to move on to some movement practice. So find that breath. Again, exhale. Good. On your inhale, draw the arms up all the way overhead. Reach up tall, look up. Breath comes in. Exhale out, hands down to the heart. Inhale one more time, just like that. Inhale in. This time hands come together. They're going to come back behind the head. Exhale out. Float the hands all the way forward and down. Left arm is going to lift all the way up and back toward the back of the chair. Lengthen the spine. Gentle little turn and twist. And exhale out. Gently come back. Hands now come onto the caps of the knees. Inhale, the right arm lifts. Reach up tall, reach up tall. Turn toward the right. Full in breath here. Slowly come back. Arms both lift up parallel one more time. Exhale, hands press down, palms seal down together. Inhale, lift all the way up again, inviting all this energy, and we got to keep going through the rest of the week. Palms together. Keep those elbows high. Draw the hands back. One more time. Lift up the arms. Lift up and reach. Exhale out. Sorry, that's my dog. Now we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. Breathe in and lift up through the chest. So you might actually want to come forward a little bit for this one. And then you're going to round the back. Drop the chin down toward the chest. Breathe in. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Lift up through the chest. Lift up through the heart. Exhale and round the spine. Round down. Inhale one more time. Cap those knees as you have them. And then exhale out. Come back to center. Inhale, the arms lift. Lift, lift, and reach. Palms press together. Draw the hands down to the heart. Inhale, parallel rise up. Press those palms. Feel the energy between them. Hands come back. Keep those elbows lifted. And then bring the arms all the way down. Good job. So now we're actually going to come into a standing position. So come on all the way up out of your chair. And we're gonna inhale the arms, we're gonna reach them up, and if you can't see, I have them palms facing each other once again. We're actually gonna shift our weight to one foot, okay? So if this is not possible, you can use your handy dandy chair, okay? And then you would just lift up the opposite arm. So you're gonna lift up your knee, either you keep both arms up, or you keep just your knee lifted. Hang on, and my screen went dark, so I'm just gonna turn it back on. Okay, so keep your arms lifted, keep that leg lifted. The standing leg, if the knee is bending, try to straighten it out. Think of activating through the quadriceps. Spin those pinkies in, drop the shoulders down so you're engaging here through serratus and latissimus dorsi in the back. And then slowly lower that leg back down, palms pressed together, draw the hands in toward the heart. And again, my screen went dark, so sorry about that. Hi there. All right, now we're gonna switch to the other side. So the opposite leg, so the one that you just did, you're gonna lift the opposite knee and then lift the opposite arm or both arms. The standing legs, again, gonna straighten out nice and straight. Reach up through the arms. If you wanna add a balance challenge, look up toward the palms. Breathe in as you're here. Breathe out. Relax those shoulders down. Engage through the core of the abdominals. Draw. And I don't know why my screen keeps going dark, but that knee is going to stay lifted, arms stay lifted, and then go ahead and put that foot back down. Arms come down by the sides. Now we're going to turn the big toe mounds in together. Bring the hands onto the hips. So you can just for a moment take notice of what happens to the knees here. So you can kind of play around a little bit with the knees, either turning inward or turning outward. So if you turn your toes out and bring your heels in together, you notice that the knees kind of start to point out, right where the toes are. If you point the toes in toward one another, now the knees kind of start to point in. They start to intersect, kind of like cross in this way. So then if we have the toes facing forward, you might have a situation where your knees are still kind of coming in like mine kind of do. But then if you activate through the quadriceps, your knees are going to draw straight up, okay? So stick with that there, okay? Keep those legs active, and then think of building up the chain from here. So you're building at the foundation of the sole of the foot, building at the ankle, the knee, now moving up to the hip, at the waist, pulling up here through pubic bone toward the low ribs, and then lifting almost through the rib cage, elevating away from the hips. Reach the shoulders up first and then drop them down, but keep the rib cage lifted. Bring the arms all the way up. Reach up, lift up, and look up. And then exhale it out. We're going to do this a couple times fast. If you want to take it a little easier, you can do this sitting, or you can look straight ahead. If you want to kind of ramp it up a notch, you're going to look up and down as you bring your arms up, and you're going to do it fast. Inhale the arms, gaze up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, arms back behind you. Gaze can be up or forward. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Nice job. So now we're going to bring one foot forward in front of the other. So this is maybe one of the first times we're doing a standing series. So when I love it with the chair because you have something to hold on to, so it's great. One knee in front of the other, okay, and all 10 toes are going to be facing forward. So if you really need the support, you can actually hold on here with both hands. Just bring your hips in as close as they can get toward the chair, okay? That'll really be helpful. If you're doing this in a chair, you can actually sit right on it, okay? So you sit right on, and I think we've demonstrated in some of the past videos, but you could just sit on it with one leg kind of being supported by the sole of the chair there, okay? So find yourself here, and we're gonna breathe in. If you wanna use both arms, or if you're not using them, we're just gonna inhale. Exhale, hands down. Again, inhale. We're going to do this again rapidly. Exhale. Kick it up a notch if you'd like, and look up as you lift up. Exhale, and then one more time. Breath in, lift, lift, lift. Exhale. Nice job. So if you're holding on here or you need some extra help, use that to get you back up to standing. Okay, shake out both legs a little bit. We're going to bring the opposite leg back. Opposite leg goes back, soften into the knees. So your knees you also kind of want at 90 degrees and 90 degrees, and this just helps us to keep that good alignment with the knees, the hips, and the ankles. Okay, so find that here. Shoulders also, you don't want them leaning too far forward, stacked over the hips. If you're holding on here, go ahead and do so and just follow the breath. If not, if you want to kick that up, breathe in and lift the arms. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice job. Okay, so now if you use the chair, help it to get you back up. Otherwise, if you want that added challenge, spring to the top of your mat or just place your feet together. So we're gonna bring the big toe mounds together here. We're gonna finish off with a nice burner of a chair pose. Toes together, heels are a little bit wider. Bring the arms all the way up. We did these rapid breaths before. Palms pressed together, draw down to the heart. We're gonna do that 5 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale. So as you're doing those, you can inhale and think of relaxing your abdomen, right? We always talk about pelvic health. As you exhale, drawing in, okay? That's the natural rhythm of using your pelvis, using your core, load transfer, all those good things. Okay, now as we come down into chair pose, okay, so if you haven't done chair pose before, we'll kind of demonstrate. It gets its name because it's kind of like you're going to sit in a chair. Its other name, less well known, is awkward pose. So I think that that's pretty good as a name for it as well. It's Utkatasana in Sanskrit, but that's besides the point. Lift your arms all the way up. And with those toes together, you're going to send your hips back behind you, almost as if you were going to sit in a chair. So now, if this is really difficult for you, or if you're a person that needs to use your hands to come up from a chair, then you probably just want to bring your hands back behind you, or at the very least, you want to be able to have a chair behind you. That's just in case you kind of, lose your balance and need to sit down quickly. So make sure you've got something sturdy back behind you. Arms are going to come up. You're going to breathe in. Again, lock down those shoulder blades. Draw them toward your hips. Breathe in as you come down. Try to just tap your hips down onto the chair. Sorry, again, my screen keeps going dark, so that's why if you see me coming closer, I'm tapping it. Breathe in as you lower down. And then breathe out as you come up. Keep those arms lifted. Breathe in as you lower down. Breathe out as you come up. If you see, imagine that we had tails, right? We wouldn't sit down on our tails, right? That's no way to live, no way to be. Not even dogs or cats do that, right? We want to kind of not sit on the tail. So sit down on those sits bones. And then as you exhale, you're going to stand all the way up. Again, that exhale goes with what? Engagement of the abdominals. So as you come up to stand, you're engaging through the abdominals, engaging through those glutes. So that's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you want to go into a sustained chair pose, okay, we can do this with or without the chair, depending on your level. If you're, again, comfortable with the chair, use it back behind you. Bring the arms up. We're going to lower down, and we're just going to stay here, okay? Find your breath. Again, on that exhale, draw in. Inhale. Exhale. Stay in it. You got it. Breathe in. Out. In. And out. Okay. And now draw the hands down to the heart. Stand on all the way up. Okay. We're going to make our way back to our chair. And we're going to sit like so now with one leg up on top. If you can, cross your ankle over your thigh. Okay? So find this position here. If this is really hard to get to, you can always use your hands to help you get there. This is a really great stretch for the outer hip of whichever side is bent. And it's really good to do also if you sit all day. Okay? So if that is the case for you and you're feeling particularly tight just in this position alone, then you can stay here. The truth is, though, there is a muscle that exists in this outer part of the hip called the piriformis, which a lot of people have heard of. And it only is on stretch in this position when the hip is past 90 degrees. So in order to get that stretch for the piriformis, you want to be able to come forward. But the thing is that in order to stretch that muscle, if you're already feeling a stretch here, just stretch those other tissues, those other muscles first. That's totally fine and probably appropriate and important. So we're gonna find the arms lifted up again. Again, if this is too much, hands down at the heart is just fine, or hands down in the lap. Lift up through the chest, and then we're slowly gonna come forward again if it's comfortable for you. If it's too much, yoga should feel good. So if this is a little bit too much sensation for you, then you back off just a little bit. And again, concentrate on your breathing. So this should be entirely an experience. Yoga should be an inward experience. Sometimes I know, especially with Zoom or online platforms and things like that, you can kind of get caught up in watching the video. But even if you're watching this later, I encourage you to even just, put the audio on and look away, unless you have specific questions about the form or whatnot. Okay, we're gonna come out of this stretch here. Okay, you always want to keep that foot flexed, and if you feel any kind of like numbness or tingling or anything, just go ahead and come out of the pose. Okay, so let's switch the other side. Bring your other foot up. I've got like sticks and stuff on the bottom of my foot, so I just got to brush that off. And you might notice that one hip feels different than the other. Sometimes they do feel different, sometimes they feel the same. Okay, and again, just take note of where this hip is at. And become present with your body. And then again, if you feel comfortable with the arms up, hands can also be down at the heart. Concentrate and find the breath. And then on your next in-breath, come forward, hinge at your hips. Feel a nice, strong stretch along that right side. Find that in-breath. Find that exhale. And if anyone ever has questions, if you're tuning in, you can always type them through to me through as well. Or if you have any requests for poses, either this week or next week, feel free to do that as well. It's always my goal to have you have your own unique experience and to have a good experience. So if there's something I could be doing better, certainly let me know. Come on all the way up. Keep that foot flexed. Lift the arms all the way up. Gaze up toward the sky or your ceiling. Hands come down to the heart. And then we're going to bring that leg down. Nice job. So now, you can't see where my feet are, but I'm actually just lifting up my heels. We're going to lift our heels and put them back down. We're going to do that 10 times. And this is good to circulate some of the blood that's in the lower legs. If you're ever sitting at a desk all day or anything like that, this plus that stretch that we just did are really good for keeping circulation going, keeping things moving. Certainly I know a lot of us are a little bit more sedentary than we usually are. Okay, so after you finish those 10, just for general circulation, find your way all the way in the back of the seat. Okay, bring your hands down onto your lap, sit all the way back, and find your breath. So sometimes the way that I like to instruct it is one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart space, and you're finding your breathing, deepening your breath, of course. So when you think of diaphragmatic breath, right, we think of the respiratory diaphragm that sits right here. And when it contracts, it actually goes from this dome shape to a flat shape, and that enhances or stretches through the abdominal cavity. And so when you're doing that, we're actually helping to regulate our bodies and move into more of that rest and digest parasympathetic component of the nervous system, which we want. That helps our body to feel calmer, sleep better, lowers stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, lowers heart rate. Think of all the tension in your body removing on the exhale. release any tension in your jaw. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your thighs on the chair. See if your breath can move a little bit deeper. And we're gonna finish off with one of my favorite mantras, right as Diesel, my little doggo, comes to visit. Sit down. He's a very good dog. We're going to finish off with a mantra, one of my absolute favorites, which says, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live your days with ease. So if you're familiar with yoga, that's the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So either layer one hand over the heart space here if you'd like, or namaste hands here. So sending that love, that warmth, it's to each of you. So we are going to say, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live my days with ease. And thank you all for tuning in. Anyone who is tuned in now or tuned in later, always feel free to send me a message if you have any requests for poses, anything you want to learn how to do. I'm open. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye.